Hello guys, in this video I'll show you how you can quickly create PHP website from scratch, and the purpose of this video, and this is first video in this video series where I will be creating you different examples of PHP websites. In further videos we will be creating registration systems, login systems, calendars and classified ads websites and so on and so forth. But the purpose of this first video is to show you or demonstrate you how you can cut HTML page with PHP and how you can quickly create one page, and that page can be many pages, million pages, or how many pages you want. But basically we will be cutting it so we don't reuse headers or any code. Pretty much we don't reuse many times, so we have the same code for many pages as we want, and we include it when we need it. So I will be using XAMPP environment, and if you are using XAMPP environment, make sure that your Apache server is running, and actually we will not be using MySQL database for this tutorial. We will need only Apache server running, so make sure that yours is up. And then we go into this PC, as you see. Then we go into Windows, whatever version you are using, and then go into your XAMPP directory and into htdocs, where all our web applications, PHP web applications, are located. And here we will create a new directory, like new folder, and I will call it my site. You can call it as whatever you want, but I will call it my site, and this will be the directory or folder where all files for our website will be located. Okay, my site, simply my site. Then I will open Notepad++, as I will be using Notepad++ for this video, and we will start by creating simple HTML page. And as you know, it starts for HTML5 doc type, and we go HTML, and then next tag is HTML opening tag, and then would be head tag, head opening tag, and after head we have title, and in title we could write, let's say, my first PHP app. Okay, and then we close this head off at the bottom. For now we will be also including or importing our style sheet, but I will do it a bit later. And we open here body opening tag, and we close body closing tag, and we close our HTML. Okay, and first what we will do, we will save this file in that directory which I created, and this is in this PC, Windows, XAMPP, htdocs, and here was our my site directory which we created for this website, and we will call this file index.php. So this will be our main file where we'll be working with, and I will write hello here, and just to test as if it works fine, we go run, and I'm using Google Chrome, so I will launch this file in Google Chrome. Okay, and here it should start with localhost, and then directory name, and then our file name, localhost my site index.php. For some reason it didn't run, so let's have a look at our server. Our server is running fine, so let's have a look in our page. Doc type HTML, HTML body, head, title, hello. Save this file. Let's go back, refresh, and we see hello is displayed on the page. This means that our page is running and we are ready to go. So, like I mentioned, we will create a simple site, and I will create a website with header section or with navigation, and with content section, which will be our content, and with footer section. And that's pretty much it for the layout of this page. So this will be navigation, and in navigation we will have some links like anchor tags href is equal to whatever. Just a second, I will go here, We close this anchor tag and we will let's create 3 of these guys. And let's call first home, second about, and third one I will call contact, like contact page or something. Contact. Okay, this will be for our header, and now we'll create one div which will be our main content. I need to remove capital letters, div opening tag and div closing tag, and I will give ID to this div. ID is equal, and we will call this content. You can call whatever you want, but I call this div content. And then at the very bottom we create third section which will be footer of our page. Footer, okay, and I will write in footer that some text, like I can create paragraph tag, and in this paragraph tag I will just create some copyright or whatever. Just closing paragraph tag. What's happening here? We need to close this paragraph tag, and we will be using HTML entity for and it is and copy for copyright, semicolon, and we will write year 2016 or 2017. You can write whatever you want, and company name, whatever it is. Okay, and in content we will add some text, let's say in heading tag, heading 1. Close this heading 1 tag, and we will say home page. Okay, let's save this and let's preview it again in our browser. Let's refresh, and we see we have 3 links. We have homepage text in heading tag, and I have just zoomed in a little bit so you can better see, but you might not have this as big. And then in footer we have this company name. And in PHP, when we create websites, we always cut these websites. But before we start doing this, let's create structure of this website, and let's add style to this website. And to do this, in our directory, I go to, just a second, exam htdocs, my site. I will create another folder which I will call assets. And in assets folders, usually when I create websites, I create assets folder. You can call it whatever you want, style or your site style or whatever. I call it assets, and in my assets directory I always create and store images. I create another file directory for images, and style sheets I always store in assets directory. So I created assets directory, and that's where we will create and put our style sheet as style.css. And to do this, we first need to create this file, and let's create it. And we can put offset rule at the very top, and say, and offset rule, as you know, is star sign, and we say margin 0, and let's say padding as well 0 pixels. So with this offset rule we remove all default margins and paddings from our HTML elements in all browsers, because in some browsers these might be different, so we remove them at all so we can put our margins and paddings. And then let's save it in this assets directory, and let's save it as style.css, and let's save this file. And now we need to import this file into our HTML page. So let's go back, and at the top of our site let's create link tag, type is equal, rel is equal to, and href is equal to, and let's close this link tag. This type we can use or we cannot use if we want. I will not be using it in this video, but in HTML file we don't need to use it. We need to use only rel attribute, which is telling what this particular link is related to. So this is related to style sheet, okay, and link where our style lives from this index file would be assets, because it's an assets directory, and the file name is style.css. So we need to say assets / style.css. So now we are accessing this style sheet and importing it here, and we can add style to our HTML elements. So let's save this, let's go back, refresh, and we see we have removed all margins and paddings. So let's start by, actually let's center this all, and let's create, let's center, let's put one div tag around it as a main wrap of our all these boxes. So let's put one div here, div, and let's give it ID, and let's call this ID main wrap, main_wrap. Okay, this will be the main wrap, so we can center and put all these elements in this main wrap div. And let's close it under the footer div. Let's close this, and let's write a comment for ourselves, main_wrap. So we know that this div is closing this div refers to this very top div. It's closing this very top div, and so we wrap all elements of our HTML page. So let's save it, and now let's give style to our main_wrap div. So we style it and center all elements in the center of the screen. And to do this, we go to our style sheet, we refer to it with hashtag as it's a div, and we say main_wrap, and we open and close our curly brackets, and in here we are writing width. We will give width, let's say 70%. Okay, let's give 70%. This means that 15% is on both sides from this main wrap box, and we will float it left, and we will say margin left will be 15%. Okay, that means that this will push this box in the middle, because another 15% will be on the other side of that particular box, but box itself is 70%. This means that altogether this will make up 100%. So let's go back, and we see that now our box is in the center. So this is pretty much for that one, and now we will put some style to our navigation. So let's go have a look, and our navigation has 3 links in them. So first we will do first, we will use nav tag, because normally on your page you might have one main navigation, and I will say width 100%, because we want to be 100% width in this main wrap, because as you know, if this element is in some element, in this scenario we are in this element, so it will take only 100% be in width, as it can go to both sides in main wrap, so it will take all width of that element only. And we will float it left, so element is floated, and give it height, let's say 40 pixels. Okay, and we can give it as well some background. We can give background blue. Okay, blue or green. Let's give it a green background. Let's have a look how it looks on our page. Save, refresh, and we see that this is our navigation bar. And here I will now style these 3 links, and to do this I will refer to them nav, and let's go direct links. This means that we are referring to direct links, and this is now this bracket, not bracket, but this triangle bracket, and then this a. This means that we are referring to all direct elements which are located in navigation element. And now we can add style to all anchor elements or all links in that navigation. So we will say that we want those elements to have text decoration none. This will remove those lines under those elements, under these each links, as you see. And now we will make them white, color FFF, okay, or color hashtag FFF, this is white. And now we will give them line height 40 pixels, so they are in the middle of that in the middle of that navigation. Let's save it, have a look. And now we want them to have margins or borders around to both sides of them, so we will achieve it by adding padding. So we will say padding top to the 0, 15 pixels to the right and to the left, and 0 to the bottom. So if you know, if we are using two these only measurements after padding, this means that first will be top and bottom, and second will be both sides of that particular element. So let's refresh it, and we can see we have our navigation with 3 buttons. And now I can add some style to this footer as well. For the purpose of this tutorial, I will make that footer light gray, which is E, like you will see now, and I will refer directly to footer tag, because one footer can have, every page can have only one footer, pretty much, as you understand. And we will say width as well 100%, and we will float it left, and I will give it a background of gray, and like I mentioned before, it will be E, or it is 6 E's, but for shortcut we can use only 3. Let's save it, and we see our footer. And now to our content I will add some padding at top and the bottom. So as yes, we could add at the top and at the bottom, so it's not so squashed. So let's have a look. Our content is ID content, so we will refer to content by adding hashtag content, okay, and we will say padding. And as you remember, if we use only 2 parameters, like first will be top and bottom, so I'll give top and bottom 20 pixels and both sides 0. Let's save it, refresh it, and you can see now. And as well, we need to give it width 100%, because we need to float to make this floated element, and float left. So floated elements get stacked, and now you see that all paddings are in place. And this is pretty much our page. And now I will show you how we can separate this page or cut this page using PHP, and that's the main purpose of this video, just to show you how you can do it. So we pretty much have 3 parts of this page, or even 4 parts. I usually take all this doctype declaration and head section in one file. So let's do it, and let's cut this out from here. And let's create a new file, and let's paste in this doctype and everything in a new file. And then we will go back to our directory, which is my site, and here we will create a new folder or new directory, like folder, and we will call it includes. And these will be parts of our page in includes directory, where we'll be saving these parts. And if we go back now to Notepad++, we will save this first part as head.php. You could save it as you want in that includes directory. So we go here, includes, and we will save it head.php, okay? And let's save it. And now to get it back in our HTML page, we need to include it by using PHP. So we open PHP tag and we close PHP tag, and we will use include, and we need to include the path to that file, which is includes/head.php, okay, and semicolon at the end. and this should be string. This should be as string, okay, like this. And now if we save this, we go back to our website. This is not our website, this is our website. We refresh, we see that everything is still working. And if we view page source, you see that our head is included anyway, okay, because we just included this head by using that file. Similarly, we will cut, actually I will get this body as well into that head, into that head file, because I like that body opening tag to as well to be in this head file. Okay, and similarly we will do with our other parts of our website, and we will start by very top one, which will be navigation, and with we opening main wrap, and navigation we will cut out by using Ctrl X and create a new file. We create new file, and we will save this file as nav in includes directory as nav.php, or you could say navigation.php. I call it nav. I always know that this is navigation, and then we need to import this as well, or include this into this PHP file. Control Z, Control D in Notepad is to include, and instead of to copy and paste, and instead of head we say nav. So our navigation is included as well. If we save this, we go back to our website. Just a second, refresh, and you see that navigation is included. So next thing, we will leave content for now. We will go and grab all these bottom part starting from footer down to the lowest, and let's cut it out, and let's paste it in new file, and let's save it in includes directory as footer.php. Okay, let's save it, and then we go back to that index file. I will grab one of these, Control copy and Control V, and here instead of nav we will include footer.php. As you remember, we called that file footer.php, so we include footer.php. So we have main content here. Let's save this, and you see that nothing has changed. However, our index file now looks like this, and this is our page, like pretty much. Okay, and now we can close these all files, which is footer, or let's leave navigation open. We can close head, we can close footer, because we will not need this for this tutorial. And here for our file, we can in our navigation file we will add these links, and first link in for home page will be index.php, oops, not hph but php, and for about us we will create these two pages, about and contact, but we already can, or let's add those links when we will create those pages. And now I will show you how easy you can create new pages. All you need to do, you will have all this content for all. I just indent this normally so it looks better. Okay, because basically all your content of your page will be between this content opening tag and this content closing tag. Whatever you want will be here, like h1 and so on after it. But all these parts, as you said, now you can change in one place. Heading, if you want, you can change in one place. Navigation you can change in one place, and footer you can change in one place, because they will be always included in these files. And if you don't want, for example, navigation on some page, you just don't include navigation, and it will not be there. So in contact us page I will not, actually I need to include navigation, because we will need to navigate back to another pages. So let's create now what pages we had: about page and contact page. Okay, and to create those pages you just copy this and create new, just create new file, and you paste it in, and instead of home page, instead of home, you say about about page or whatever. You can add more content, like for example paragraph. You can add description here, you can add images here. Here is about us page. Okay, let's save this, and let's save it as well in main directory my site, and let's call it about.php. You can call it as well as you want, but I called it about.php. And note that now to just change that link we need to go to one file which is includes, which is nav.php, and we simply say about.php, and we don't need to type it in many files because our navigation for all our website is in one place, and we can change or edit in one place. And if we go back to our page now, refresh, you go click on about, you see you get redirected to about page, and click on home, you get home page, about home, and it works fast because your header and footer area, so as your navigation is not getting re-uploaded every time, because whenever you it's already there, you know. So now let's do the same. We have about us page, let's do the same with contact us page. So you see one more time how we do it. So go to index page, copy everything, okay, open new file, paste it in, and instead of home you say contact us page, and let's have contact us page. Okay, and then we save it as well in our main directory, which is my site, as contact.php, and let's save it. Okay, and now again we need to go to navigation file, and in link we just need to say contact.php. Let's save this, and let's go back to our site, refresh, and now click on contact. So you have quickly you have created a website with 3 pages. You could add more links if you want, but this is how you cut out your website pages. And now whatever content you would want to put in contact us page, you just go to your contact us page, and here you see you don't have a mess, because in all pages you include your navigation, your head section, and all your footer. And in between this content you also always can add whatever content you want for your contact us page, or if you want to go back to about us page, add all your content for about us page, or if you want, go to your index page and you add all content for your home page. Yes guys, and this is pretty much how you can cut websites by using PHP, and this is only the first video which I am showing you, so you know how you can cut pages. And if we go back to your file structure, you see that here you have those 3 pages in your my site directory or my site folder, and in includes you have parts which are common with to all of those pages, and you can include them or you can not include them. You can add more sections to your pages if you want. I just added main 3 so you see how it works, but content you always leave on all pages, because when we start working with databases we will be making that content dynamic, and it will be coming dynamically from databases. And in assets you create, you basically store all style for your, if you will have some images or logos, you will create here a new directory or new folder, and you will say img, and here or site images or img, and you store all your images of your website which are related to your website here, not those images which your users will be uploading or which will be to do with other things with site functionality, but those images which are to do with your style of your site you store only here. Other images you will probably want to add here somewhere, create another folder here, images. And when you work with JavaScript, you create here another folder, JS. I always call it JS, for example, and all my JavaScript files will be there, and all my images I can create another directory here and call it images. Okay, and these images will be which users will be uploading their faces or any other images. It's just will be here, so you easily know the structure of your website. Okay guys, if you found this video useful, please leave a like and like this video, because this video helps to stand out my videos, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Yes, and see you in other videos.